I was tied to a hospital bed by my husband of 20 years, while carrying a baby that was never meant to be mine. 20 years after my Dinka husband had a vasectomy, I suddenly became pregnant. I thought I was blessed with a baby, but I found out that my husband had another family outside. His illegitimate son had leukemia and urgently needed a bone marrow match, so my husband set his sights on me. I was so angry that I fainted after waking up in the hospital. I broke down and said I wanted to abort the baby. Marlon Townsend, my husband, disagreed with tying me to the hospital bed. My mother-in-law and the doctor advised me, saving a life is more meaningful than building a 7-story house. Marlon's son is your son too. How can you be so heartless? Who told you to remain childless for so many years, and even when you finally conceived you insisted the child carry your surname? I stopped struggling, looked at Marlon's wet eyes, and relaxed as I sneered. Why don't you and Melanie have another child to save your sick son? I will cover all the treatments. Marlon's eyes flashed with disappointment and heartache. I thought he felt guilty, but he said I've tried. But Melanie had several miscarriages in her attempt to give me a son. She cannot get pregnant anymore. What's more, Sabe have a 1 in 4 chance of being a successful match. Margaret, as long as you are willing to save my son, I will agree to whatever you want. I turned my face away, my heart completely chilled as I answered, I want a divorce. I'll be discharged from the hospital in a week and we will meet at the court. My mother-in-law was so angry that her blood pressure soared and she wanted to hit me. Marlon pulled me away, frowning slightly, and said firmly, I am not divorcing you. Do not even think about it. I looked at him and sneered. Years of tacit understanding between husband and wife made him understand that I was serious. He pinched his brows and sighed. His tone softened. Margaret, we've spent half our lives together. Wouldn't it be humiliating if news of our divorce spread now? I know you feel wronged, but Salling didn't have the same education or upbringing as you. It wasn't easy for her to give me a son. She's young too, so if anyone is to blame, it's me. The child is innocent, forcing me like the spite Donnering. My breathing stagnated. I touched my belly and my thoughts drifted back to several years ago when he was young. Marlon also lamented the unfairness of fate. He was a poor student sponsored by my father. Not long after graduating from college, I had no way to pursue further studies or further education. On the day when he knelt on the street in the heavy rain to beg for the right to bid, I held an umbrella and took him home. A down-and-out genius, an ambitious character, and an unyielding will. Everything about him was fatally attractive to me. The daughter of the richest man. Soon he became the son-in-law of the richest man and embarked on a life of luck. At that time I never thought about being a dinka. I just wanted to have a baby because I was with him every day. Soon I became pregnant. After hearing the good news, Marlon was so excited that he almost cried. But my parents said that the first child should have my last name and we can decide on the second and third children. Marlon, how many children do you think we should have? There was a subtle worry on his face as he answered, Margaret, are you really ready to be a mother? I mean, I don't want you to suffer the pregnancy. I also heard if it will hurt. I was deeply moved and hugged him, telling him that I was not afraid. But pregnancy was indeed hard. I had severe morning sickness and could not eat anything. One day 2 weeks later I had constant abdominal pain. Marlon was so anxious that he rushed me to the hospital, but the baby still died.